Hello and welcome once again to my video series on understanding ISO 9001-2015. One of the very important clauses ISO 9001-2015 is clause number 4, context of the organization. Let's make an attempt to understand what are the necessities as mandated in clause number 4 and how do we implement and audit it. Let's read this together first. Clause number 4.1, understanding the organization and its context. The organization shall determine external and internal issues that are relevant to its purpose and its strategic direction and that affect its ability to achieve the intended result of its quality management system. The organization shall monitor and review information about these external and internal issues. Note 1. Issues can include positive and negative factors or conditions for consideration. Note 2. Understanding the external context can be facilitated by considering issues arising from legal, technological, competitive, market, cultural, social, and economic environments, whether international, national, regional, or local. Note 3. Understanding the internal context can be facilitated by considering issues related to values, culture, knowledge, and performance of the organization. In the newer ISO structure, context of the organization has taken a very important place in the entire ISO implementation journey. Hence, while in pursuit of ISO 9001 implementation, you must look at identifying all internal and external issues. And to be able to help you, through Note 2, they have articulated what issues you may consider. If you read Note 2 again, it's saying understanding the external context can be facilitated by considering issues arising from legal, technological, competitive, market, cultural, social, and economic environments, whether international, national, regional, or local. So when you are making a list of all the external issues, you could look at creating subgroups for each of these heads that is mentioned here and anything more that you want. List down what could be the issues that could impact you as an organization. For example, for us as a consulting organization, India is working very fast towards creating laws around privacy, data security, and such legal requirements coming into play will have a huge binding on the market, and it will open a huge door for ISO 27701 certification and PIMS, etc. So such legal issues could have a positive impact for us. ISO 9001 clause 4.1 is essentially asking you to determine external and internal issues. External issues could be referenced from Note 2. Similarly, internal issues can be referenced from Note 3. Understanding the internal context can be facilitated by considering issues related to values, culture, knowledge, and performance of the organization. I would like to add that ISO 9001 will follow the PDCA approach. So once you've identified the issue identification does not suffice. Once you've identified the issue, you must take it to its logical conclusion. What subsequent actions are to be taken for handling each one of these issues? So your risk and opportunity tracker could take this forward from your issue identification register and try and see what risks or opportunities do you see coming your way through these internal and external issues and work at handling them accordingly. Clause number 4.2, understanding the needs and expectations of interested parties. Let me read this first. Due to their effect or potential effect on the organization's ability to consistently provide products and services that meet customer and applicable statutory and regulatory requirement. The organization shall determine A. The interested parties that are relevant to the quality management system. B. The requirement of these interested parties that are relevant to the quality management system. The organization shall monitor and review information about these interested parties and their relevant requirements. One must have a very clear perspective that organization will have a lot of interested parties, right from employees to vendor partners to legal bodies to statutory and regulatory authorities to key opinion leaders in the world, etc. And unless you identify needs and expectation of these interested parties and work at handling them, the route to be successful may be difficult to achieve. Hence, the newer ISO 9001:2015 standard is mandating that an organization building their quality management system on the ISO 9001 mandates must make a list of all interested parties and gather all the requirements that these interested parties have which are relevant to the quality management system. For example, an employee. What could be the requirements from an employee? The employee would need knowledge to be able to do his job well. He would need to know what all is mandated for him to be done. He needs to know what are his key responsibility areas. He needs to be provided with inputs to be able to do his job well. And unless you fulfill these requirements from one interested party, namely the employee, you would not get the kind of performance you are looking for. And if you are not getting the employee to be able to do what he's supposed to do, it is extremely unlikely that the objective of the quality management system will be achieved. And like I always mention, close looping of whatever you've identified here is an extremely important element of success of the quality management system. So only identifying the requirements for the interested parties may not be sufficient. What you may need to do is once you've identified these requirements, the fulfillment of these requirements are as important as identification of the requirement themselves. So you will have to close loop the requirements that you've identified. I hope you find this video simple and useful. Thank you.